shine so bright, beaming in the night. Lay down your worries, you are not behind. I know how it feels to wonder why you're not where you want to be in life.
Hello everybody, welcome back to PalominoIntuitive. Thank y'all so much for being here. My name is Star and I'm an intuitive reader. So on today's reading, we're gonna get into what first impression do you make on people, okay? So go ahead and like this video, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Lately I've been doing more like deeper topics, I guess. So today I wanted to just lighten up the energy and do a reading that's not so like, but I mean, knowing me, I can't help but to tap into deep stuff. That's just how I am. Like, I'm not a superficial reader. I'm not one of those like, ooh, who's secretly hating on you? And like, ooh, I see a sugar daddy coming into here. Like, I'm a deep reader. So even if I try to make the topic lighthearted, I still end up tapping into like real stuff. So we'll see what comes out today. But for pile one, we have this pyrite cube, which is not necessarily a cube anymore, okay? I've had that for a long time. Next, we have this smoky quartz right here. And then here, I don't remember what this stone is called, but it's basically clear quartz and obsidian, I believe. It's either, I've had this for a long time, so like I said, I don't remember the name, but I know for a fact that it's clear quartz mixed with either smoky quartz, obsidian, or onyx. And I don't remember which one, but this is definitely a protection stone that I've had for a long time. So yep, group 1, group 2, and group 3. Go ahead and pause the video if you need any more time to choose your piles. And other than that, I'll see y'all at group 1. All right, hello group 1. If you all chose pyrite, then this is your reading, and this is what first impression do you make onto people. So if you're new here, then welcome. I always pre-shuffle the cards before we get on camera, but I don't look at them. And if you're a returning subscriber, then hey, welcome back, okay? So we always have 2 oracle cards and then 3 tarot cards and then 3 more tarot cards to clarify. Every now and then if I feel called to pull more than I do, but I think that you all have 3. Yeah, you guys got 3. So let's go ahead and look into it. What first impression do you make on people? All right, so right here we have them bones. I'm using the Hoodoo Tarot deck today, and I have the major arcana doesn't have the actual major arcana name, so I have to look into it sometimes, but I think that this is the judgment card. Let me just look. Yep, I was right. So that's the judgment card. Next we have Dr. Grant, which I feel like this is the Hermit. Let me look again. Let me just make sure. Yes, I was right again. This is the Hermit card. And then last but not least, we have Ancestors, which I think is the Death card. That's so interesting that you all have all major arcana. And something told me to keep the book out because I knew that major arcana was gonna come out. But yep, so right, that's the Death card. So I've been right all times, okay, period. Maybe I know my tarot more than I think I do, okay? More than I be giving myself credit, all right? So anyways, you guys have Judgment in reverse, the Hermit card in reverse, and then also the Death card in reverse. So first of all, these cards are a bit more difficult for me to read because I don't know. These cards, I feel like they're a bit close to home because of they're clearly centered around like Southern Black history. And so it just be like so close to home that I kind of like, it's like I'd be too close up to see it for real. Does that make sense? But anyways, I'm gonna still do my best. But off rip, I feel like you guys make a big first impression on people. Like people feel like you have a big energy. So you might be someone who's very, see, here's the thing. I'm feeling like your actual personalities might be different because obviously there's multiple people watching this reading. But I feel like whether you're a bubbly person or whether you're more of a calm person, you just have a big energy. Like, it's like people can't help but to see you. So for example, you might be someone who where like your ethnicity or your race is like not, it's not that many of you in your area. So like a lot of people just off rip notice you because you look different than all of the other people around you. You might be someone who's really tall or really short. I just feel like there's something within your physical appearance that people like, it's like you stand out immediately. Like, it's giving me Leo energy, also Sag or Gemini energy, maybe even Virgo. You might also dress differently than the people around you. So immediately I feel like with the first impression that you make on people, like before they even speak to you or anything, it's just like that you're eye-catching. I feel like you're very eye-catching. And I also feel like you're someone who is kind of to yourself. Like, even you can be the kind of person where, like I said, you might be either just really chill and like you don't really even go out of your way to speak to people, and people notice that because then it leads them wanting to speak to you. Or you might be the kind of person who you do speak to people, but then you fall back and like, you know, you'll say hey and like you like to be polite and you like to make an introduction of yourself. But after you make that introduction of yourself, you kind of like, again, it's like you kind of chill and fall back, and people notice this because people are intrigued by you. So it's kind of like they want to get to know you, but at the same time, I feel like you kind of put up a certain boundary around yourself where it's like, not where people like, it's not even that people feel like intimidated by you in like a scary way, like they're afraid to approach you, but it's kind of like they just don't want to disturb you, or they kind of just don't. You, like I said, you give me like, even if you have a bubbly personality, I'm getting like this calm, chill energy where like people almost feel like they might be too much for you, or that they might annoy you by wanting to talk to you too much. You also seem like somebody who's very honest and very blunt with this Judgment card in reverse. And I feel like people know that like you give off the impression that like people can have real conversations with you, and also the impression that you don't lie or bullshit or sugarcoat. So like just off of one conversation or just off of the way that you interact with people, they can tell that like you don't really do fake shit, or like that certain shit is not entertaining to you. I also am getting Aquarius energy here because it's interesting that I feel Leo and Aquarius, even though they're like opposites of each other, because I feel like you attract a lot of attention, and that's where I feel like that Leo energy. But then at the same time, I feel like just a bit of like a popular loner energy, and like an energy where you don't care about trends, and that's why I'm picking up on that Aquarius energy. But it's like people can tell that, okay, so I'm getting a lot of messages, which is why I'm kind of stumbling over my words, but I feel like a lot of the people that you might be around are people that follow trends. So for example, let's say that you're a Black girl and you're around a lot of other Black girls who wear frontals and really long nails and really long lashes, and they listen to Megan Thee Stallion, and they just do like trendy things. It's not to say that there's anything wrong with these things, but we all know that these things are trendy right now. And you know, 10 years ago, people weren't dressing the way that they dressed, and they weren't listening to the type of music that they listen to. And so you might be surrounded by a lot of trendy people that do trendy things, and you're the person who just wears no makeup and your natural hair, and you listen to fucking country music or something, or you listen to neo soul, you know, and you don't really like listening to the mainstream music. You don't like dressing in the mainstream way, and it's like people notice that about you. And some people, I feel like it makes them, like I said, it's like they kind of don't want to talk to you because they kind of feel like you might judge them, or that you are just not interested. And then there's other people who are intrigued by the fact that you're different, and it makes them want to get to know you. It's kind of like, you know, everybody has those people. It's like there's not one human on this planet where everybody likes them. You know, there's always going to be people that don't like you or people that do. And so with you all, it's just like I said, people either feel like you're going to judge them, or that you like look down on them for whatever reason. But then there's also people that are just as drawn to you because of the fact that you're not trendy and you don't sugarcoat, and you're just not interested in like things that most people are interested in, if that makes sense. And what I said about the Black girl thing, that's just an example. You don't have to be a Black girl, obviously, for this reading to resonate. That was just an example. But yeah, I also feel like people pick up on the first impression of you that you keep your circle small. So a lot of times people just kind of already know. It's like people feel like you judge them, but it's like, are you judging them, or does the fact that you're different make them insecure about themselves? Because I really feel like you expose people without even trying. Like, you might be somebody who, like, you might be a reader yourself, or like you might be somebody who's very intuitive and you can kind of see through people yourself. And so it's like people feel that like, I keep feeling like the trendiness. It's like I feel like you're surrounded by people that are very, like I said, into trendy things or into mainstream things or into matrix type of things. And it's like they participate in these trends, not necessarily just completely for attention or completely to like make a certain image for themselves, but it's like there's people who pride themselves on these trendy things thinking that it'll make everyone like them. And then when they come across somebody like you who does not care about any of that shit, it kind of puts them in a position where they're like, oh, like, you know, because I got this wig and these lashes and these nails, this person still don't like me, or this person still is not, you know, super interested in me, or like, most people are drawn to me, but this person act like they could care less if I speak to them or not. Like, that's, you know, it makes people feel weird. But then at the same time, the other people that are kind of similar to you, where it's like they're more authentic to who they are and they don't follow trends, those people really, really flock to you, and they really are glad that they have finally found somebody like you. Like, I feel like you work somewhere like this, or like, it might be in your job or your school, and you might have like you might have a smaller group of friends where it's like they kind of have this same type of experience, because that's what I'm getting. And I feel like there might be, like, I don't know why I just keep feeling like the trendy thing. It's like people who follow mainstream trends don't tend to like you because you just don't hype up the same shit that they do, and they get a lot of their self-esteem from participating in these trends. So then when they come around you, it kind of makes them feel stupid for participating, because at the end of the day, it still hasn't made everyone like them, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I feel like you bring, like, the first impression that you make, like, you bring out people's insecurities without even trying, just because you just don't see value in the same things that they do. And it kind of puts shit into perspective for them, that just because you have the newest lace front doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't mean that everybody's gonna like you still. Like, I don't know. I feel like you give people a reality check as your first impression with them. So let's go ahead and look into your clarifiers. You have 4 clarifiers today. So we have the 5 of Cups. Oh shit, you got 5. Okay. We got the 5 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, the Page of Wands. That one was kind of in reverse. The 4 of Cups. And then you have Judgment twice. What the fuck? In reverse. Like, people definitely feel judged by you, and you definitely bring out people's insecurities. Like, that's off rip a first impression that you have, because it's like that's why in the beginning I said it's not necessarily like that people are intimidated, because I feel like intimidation is like a feeling where there's like a underlying level of fear about you. I don't feel like people are like afraid or like a little scared of you, but it's kind of like I said, you make them think about shit that they really would rather not think about. You make them think about their insecurities and like the things that they try to cover up about themselves. Like, I feel like you're someone who shines naturally. That's why I picked up on that Leo energy before. It's like you're someone who doesn't really have to do much. Like, you really just walk in. It's like you're the person where, like, if people around you have really tried really hard to get attention, whether it be like, you know, like I said, they're doing trendy things, or they're like trying to just stick with what's popular, or like, I feel like a lot of people around you are very materialistic and very superficial. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I picked up on the lace front thing for a reason. And not that everyone that wears lace fronts is superficial, but I just, like, it's a trend. And there's a lot of people that follow trends because they think it's going to get them more acceptance. And I feel like you might be surrounded by a lot of people like this. And when it's like they do all of these things to get acceptance and to get attention, but you come in with literally just your natural hair and no makeup on, and still somehow all the men in the office or all the dudes at the school are still talking about you. And it pisses people off, and it like puts into perspective to people like, I'm doing all of this stuff, and so still is getting more attention to me, or so still has more friends than me, or people are still more intrigued by this person. And like there's like a sense of, for some people, it's like I said, people are really either, you give me like hot and cold energy with when it comes to your first impressions on people. Like some people, it's either people just love you or they kind of just hate on you and they're jealous. It's not really much of an in between. Like it's really just one or the other, like with you. And that's so interesting to me. And like I said, you make people feel nervous around you because they feel like this, it's like this subconscious need of like wanting to impress you or like wanting you to like them, even the people that kind of feel jealous of you or even the people that you make feel insecure. They still deep down would really like it if you liked them because they know that whatever you give approval to, people flock to, because it's like people know that you just don't, people know that you're not fake, that you're not superficial, and that you're not trendy off first impressions. And so they know that like whoever you like is a real person, or like whoever you give attention to, that person gets, you know, more attention because your opinion is valued, even if you don't really realize it. I also feel like with this 5 of Cups here, you help people to like, it's like you help people to like disconnect from superficiality. Like I feel like that's a first impression type of thing. Like when people are around you, they don't feel the need to be fake. Like they don't feel the need to do trendy shit or like, because you just don't like you don't praise that kind of stuff. I feel like with the 10 of Cups here, I feel like people get the first impression from you that you care more about who someone is as a person rather than what material thing they have or who they know or what's popular music they listen to or how many followers they have. Like people just off rip can tell that you just don't care about shit like that. And like I said, for some people, they feel drawn to you because of that, because they appreciate the fact that you see them as a human being and like you're not just like everybody else. And like you have a first impression and people, they're like, oh, this person is different. Like you might have heard that a lot in life, like, oh, you different. Or people might ask you questions to hear your perspective, already knowing that you're going to say something different than what everyone else said. And again, it's like you just naturally attract energy without really trying. Like with this 4 of Cups here, I feel like a lot of times you are uninterested in the people around you, or you're bored in a lot of your environments because you feel like it's superficial. But at the same time, that makes you stand out. Like you, again, it's just like, it's this balance of like Leo and Aquarius energy. So you might have both of these in your chart. I feel like for some of you, you might have a Leo North Node and an Aquarius South Node, or no, I was going to say vice versa, but I don't think it's vice versa. I think you might, if you resonate with this group, look into your natal chart because you might have a Leo North Node and an Aquarius South Node. That's very specific, obviously, so it's not going to resonate like that for everyone. The reading itself could still resonate even if that's not your North and South Node placements, but I am picking up on that here. So yeah, like, also I'm picking up on Gemini and Taurus, so you might have a Gemini North Node with a Taurus South Node as well. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up on for you guys so far. Let's look into your oracle cards. Here we have infinite possibilities. So I feel like people also, with their first impression of you, they see you with the stars. It's again giving me that Aquarius energy. Like it's just giving me like this, again, it's like that Leo Aquarius mix and balance of energies I'm picking up on with you all. But people see you as someone who is also very optimistic and who is also very open-minded as well. That's why it's like a conjunction of different energies, because it's like people do see you as someone who is kind of judgmental, and like, not that you're judgmental in a way where you think you're better than people, but it's just like you just know that certain shit is superficial. And so when you see somebody doing certain things, or when you see that somebody is like following certain trends, it kind of makes you want to steer clear of them, because you just kind of know like, oh, you know, you're basing your self-esteem off of material things, or you're basing your self-esteem off of, you know, how often you get your hair done, or you know, what kind of new outfits you have. And like, that's just not interesting to you. But at the same time, you're very open-minded and you like to talk about creative stuff. I feel like you're a very creative person, and like you have a lot of innovative ideas, and like you have a lot of ideas for things that other people just, it's like, because it's not, you have a lot of ideas for things that are not trendy, but I feel like you're really like ahead of your time. And that's also, again, it's like that Aquarius energy. You are someone that's ahead of your time in the way that you look at things. Like, you don't follow trends not because you think there's something wrong with trends, but you don't follow trends because you know that they're just that, a trend. And it's gonna, you know, 10, 15, 20 years, the shit is gonna be totally different. People are gonna dress totally different. The music's gonna be different. and you just are not interested in adapting yourself to fit the times. You would rather be yourself and be ahead of the wave, or be someone who always, be someone who, what they say, like you're ahead of your, you're ahead of your time, or, you were born in the wrong era. Like, you prefer to be that kind of person, and you tend to focus on things that are kind of futuristic, or things that, like I said, in the moment, people don't see the value in them, but you know that they're going to be valuable in the future, or that they already are valuable now, but people just are focused on something else. Okay. Definitely giving me a lot of Aquarius energy. Like, like I said, you don't have to be a Leo or an Aquarius, but that's heavily what I'm picking up on in this reading. Okay. Definitely, definitely. Also, we do have Virgo and Scorpio energy here with the Death card and the Hermit card as well. And then let's look at this card. We have Peacock Spirit in reverse, Let It Shine. This is why I feel like you have a Leo. Like, it got to be at least one person in this group that has Leo North Node, Aquarius South Node. It got to be at least one person, because this is that kind of energy where, like, you stand out without even trying. Like, with the Peacock Spirit in reverse, Let It Shine, a peacock doesn't really have to do shit. Like, once this peacock just opens up its feathers, you cannot help but to look. If you've ever been to a zoo, or if you've ever seen a peacock in real life, you know what I'm talking about. Like, the bird is just thinking it's just being a bird, you know what I'm saying? And it's just being the little peacock, and it's minding this little peacock business. And as soon as you see that bird start shaking and you start seeing them feathers come out, it don't matter what you was doing. It don't matter what you was looking at on Instagram, or who you was talking to. You just immediately, your eyes just immediately look at the bird, and you can't stop looking at the bird for at least 10 seconds. Like, you just cannot help it, right? This is how people feel about you when they meet you. It's like, you just have this energy about you where it's like, people just can't help but to look at you. People can't help but to want to be your friend. And like I said, people might not approach you that much, just because, like, they kind of can read your energy a bit and know, like, oh, I don't want to annoy this person, or like, I don't want to always seem like I'm a groupie for this person, or I don't really want to always, get on their nerves or always be in their face. But it's like, people really, like, cannot wait for you to talk to them. Like, you might notice that you do kind of tend to stay to yourself, but like, whenever you start a conversation with somebody, they might seem to be very excited that you talked to them, or like, if you start a conversation, they're very excited to keep it going. Like, I feel like it's not many people that you try to talk to them and they're kind of like stiff towards you. I feel like, if anything, you might be the kind of person that's like, people try to talk to you and you're like, I read your energy, and I mean, you probably are a good person, but we're not resonating. I don't have interest in talking to you. But it's not really like that too much the other way around. And I feel like people that might treat you like that are really just the people that are kind of jealous of you. It's not that they don't like you for real, but it's kind of like, again, talking to you brings out their insecurities. Because like I said, especially if you're a female, like, you could be a dude too, really, honestly. Like, but if, like I said, especially if this is kind of resonating for like either your coworkers or your peers at school or something like that, it's kind of like the people who, like I said, might be kind of stiff towards you, or act like they're not so interested in talking to you. They really are. But like I said, there's like a tinge of jealousy, because you might be around people who are really attention seeking, and they like to follow trends and do trendy things and do things that they think is going to get them attention from people. And they're like trying hard, basically. And when you come around, you take all the attention without even doing anything. And it kind of upsets them. And that's why they might try to make you feel, that's why they might try to be stiff towards you, because they kind of want you to feel like exiled or something, or like isolated from them. But the thing is that it never really works, because you don't care about them in the first place. So these are the only people that act kind of stiff towards you are people that you didn't want to talk to anyway. So it's just like, you don't really care. It doesn't bother you, basically, so that's kind of the first impression that I'm getting for you guys. Let's go ahead and look into your last oracle card and see, Spirit, what is the first impression that group 1 has on people? What first impression does group 1 make on people? I'm hungry, y'all. I haven't ate breakfast, but I was like, let me do this reading for the people, because I just wanted to do it first. So if you hear my little belly growling, don't judge me, okay? So here we go. Wow, y'all, I cannot make this up. I cannot make this shit up. I cannot make this up. You have the light. Please look into your chart. Please look into your chart, because I just really, like I said, it might just be one person, but it's somebody in this group that, I kid you not, has a Leo North Node and an Aquarius South Node. And if that is you, please leave me a comment down below so that I know I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping, but I want you to just, like, you can really let everybody else know that I'm not tripping. I know it's somebody in this group with a Leo North Node and Aquarius South Node. I can't make this up, okay? You all, like I said, when people see you, their first impression of you is literally, cannot make this up, the light, the sun. They cannot help but to be drawn to you. People, like I said, they're intrigued by you. And for some people, their intriguedness by you, like people that are confident in themselves and who they are, they like you. And they like the fact that you're real. And they like the fact that you are not fake and that you're not superficial, and they love you for that. And they love the fact that you're so different and that you stand out without trying. And the people that are intrigued by you, that are low in self-esteem, you know, they'd be kind of jealous of you and they might try to hate on you, but you don't even pay attention to that shit. You don't even care because you was not interested in them in the first place. The people that you be drawn to and the people that you're interested in are just as interested in you. And like, the period, okay? This is your first impression. You walk into a room and you shine, okay? Like it says, with the let it shine in reverse, I don't feel like this is like, usually the reversals is like basically when you are not seeing the message. But with you all, I don't think it's that you don't see yourself as a light, but it's just like you don't try to be a light. Like, you're not going out of your way to fucking do anything. It's like you're just naturally eye-catching. Like I said, the peacock. The peacock is just naturally eye-catching. The peacock didn't try to be a peacock. The peacock didn't choose to be born as a peacock. The peacock is just the peacock, minding its peacock business. And here while we go, humans staring at it. And we're just so captivated by it. And the peacock is just like, girl, where's my feed? Where's my food? I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you are. It's like you walk into work and you like, oh, girl, let me just do this shift. Like, you got your own shit going on. You in your own world in your head. And it's like, everybody is like, looks at you, like, and turns their head to when you walk in, and then people are like, hey, how are you? Good morning, good morning. And then it's like that one salty person that's like, here they go, taking all the attention. Like, they're not even that cute, or they're not even that good, or like, I be making more sales than them, or I've been here longer than, like, you know what I'm saying? That's really the kind of energy that you have. And it's like, it's really giving Leo Aquarius energy. Like, it really is. It really is. So thank you so much for watching group one. That's all I have for you. If this resonated for you, definitely leave me a comment down below, and especially leave me a comment down below if you have Leo and Aquarius either in your big three, like both of them together in your big three, or if you have a Leo North Node and an Aquarius South Node, because I just needed to get it confirmed, okay? Because I definitely am feeling that energy. So definitely go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can join this community and not miss out on any readings. I always post my readings every day at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that being said, I love y'all. Bye. Hello, group two. Welcome to your reading. So if y'all chose the smoky quartz, then this is your reading. This is the first impressions that you make onto people. So for those of you that are returning subscribers, welcome back. Thank y'all for being here. And if you're new, just to let you know, I always pre-shuffle the cards before I get on camera, but I don't actually look at them. And we always have 2 oracle cards, unless, you know, every now and then I feel called to take more cards. But for the most part, we always have 2 oracle cards, and then 3 oracle cards. 3 tarot cards, and then 3 clarifying tarot cards. But today you all got an extra tarot card. I think everybody in this reading today got extra cards. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. Let me rearrange myself, okay? And so let's go ahead and, like I said, figure out what first impression do you make on people. All right, so the first card that you have is Paw in reverse, and I think this is the moon. This is the Hoodoo Tarot deck, and they changed the names for the major arcana, but I feel like that's the moon because there's a big ass moon right there. But let me just check. Yep, it's the moon. And then next we have the 2 of baskets, which I believe is the 2 of pentacles. In reverse, it might be the 2 of cups. No, that's the 2 of cups. That's definitely the 2 of cups. Then we have the Son of Knives, so this is the Knight of Swords. And then we have the 3 of Sticks, which is the 3 of Wands. So let's see, what is people's first impression of you? Let me get into it. Let me take them. These cards, like, they definitely challenged me as a reader. So let me just take my time. So with you all, I feel like people's first impression of you is that you're a very private person. Like, I feel like you give me the energy of a very private person, probably someone who considers themselves to be introverted. And I feel like you don't really have the desire to have friends or like to mingle with people all the time. Like, you might be the kind of person where you're at work or you're at school and people are like, oh, we're gonna go to the bar later, or we're gonna go to this party or whatever, you should come. And you're like, no, thank you. You're like, oh, actually, I have to do this or I have to do that. Or sometimes you might come up with an excuse, and sometimes you might just be straight up and be like, I'm not interested. I see you as someone who you're very goal oriented, and you tend to focus more on like your personal progress than being social with people. And I feel like you do have a small, like you might have, with this Two of Cups in reverse, you might have either like one best friend or like, it might be a sibling or it might be a romantic partner. Like, I feel like there's one person in your life that you're very connected to. And if this person asked you to go to the bar or hang out or whatever, the answer would always be yes, because you just feel such a connection with this person. But other than them, you're really just not really interested. And I feel like with the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords in reverse, I feel like you just also have this mentality where like, there's kind of like this energy where you see through people, and it's like you don't necessarily, I feel like you don't necessarily look at people as like a bad person, but you just do have certain standards for like the people that you want in your life. And like, you don't really like people that gossip or that are not focused. You give me the kind of person, like, I know for a fact you tote around that fact where it's like you become who you hang around, or like you're an average of like the 5 people that you spend your most time with. And so because of that, you're very meticulous about who you spend your time with, because you have goals in mind, like I said, and you have, there's a path that you see for yourself, and you're taking the path and you're on a journey, and you don't really want anyone disrupting that, and you don't feel like you want to give your time to people that you don't see as either equal or above you in terms of intellect and in terms of dedication to their goals. Like, you're the kind of person where it's really like, it's giving like an energy where like you feel smarter than people, honestly, and like people can pick up on that. And to you, it's really just about your goals. To other people, they feel like you think you're better than them. You might have heard that a lot. You might still do to this day, like, oh, so-and-so think they're better than me, or so-and-so think they all that, or da-da-da-da-da, or, you know, so-and-so too good to hang out with me. And again, with you, it's not that you think you're too good, but it's just like, you just have a certain mindset about yourself, and you just don't see the point in spending time with people that are not on that same wave. For some of you, like I said, I feel like you're also very private, and like if you are in a romantic relationship, you might be married, or you might wear a ring, so you might be engaged or married, or you might post your partner like every now and then, or like maybe your partner picks you up from school or work or something like that. And it's like people, so and I say all that to say that like people know that you're in a relationship, people can visibly see that you're in some type of relationship, but you don't really like to talk about your relationship. Like, you're not the person to sit there and be like, oh, my man did this, this, and this, and this, or my lady do da 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 da. Or, you know, if people ask you questions about your relationship, you kind of don't really answer the question for real, or you might just straight up tell them to mind their business. Like, you don't like discussing your personal relationships with other people. And this sometimes leads, like, you just have very strong boundaries. And this might make other people feel some type of way, but really the only people that feel some type of way about it are nosy. And they're people that are gossipers, and I feel like you know that, and that's why you don't tell them your business. Like, because you know that even though they might be smiling in your face, acting like they're your friend, and they just are curious about you, you know that whatever you tell them, they're gonna go back and repeat to someone else. And again, it's just like you just have this energy of you're just not interested. Like, it's just giving very nonchalant energy. Like, you might be a Virgo. You might also be a Scorpio. The moon represents Pisces energy, but I don't really feel Pisces energy, to be honest with you. That's why if y'all know me, like if you're a returning subscriber, I read tarot, but I'm really an intuitive reader. That's why in the intro it always says intuitive readings versus tarot readings, because I don't really, the cards is really for y'all, to be honest. Like, if I just held this crystal right here for long enough, I could have channeled the same message, but I just use the cards because I know people like cards, and I like cards too. You know, I like physical tools, but I read intuitively. So regardless of what these cards are, what sign the cards are ruled by or whatever, I'm gonna always say what I feel and what's coming to me. So even though the moon is ruled by Pisces, I'm picking up on, like I said, Virgo energy, Scorpio energy, maybe even some Cancer energy. Also Taurus energy, and also Libra. Yeah. There's just this energy about you where it's like you're just very focused and you don't want anyone else interfering with that focus. Okay, so let's go ahead and look into your clarifiers. And people can tell that about you. People also see that you are determined. Like, that's why, like I said, it's like the people that are on the same wave as you, they like you because they don't have any desire to even know your personal business. Like, you get along with people great that are on the same mindset as you, that's on the same wave as you. The people who mind their business and don't ask you about your personal life, and instead y'all have conversations about investments or your goals, or like holding each other accountable. Like you give me like the kind of person where people know that you like to be somebody's accountability partner and you like to have an accountability partner. Like, those are the kind of people that you feel drawn to the most, and those people are really grateful to have met someone like you, because they might also be kind of introverted, and might also be the kind of people where they don't just vibe with everyone, and they have a very, very small circle. It might not even be a circle. It might just be like I said, a pair, like just a best friend or a sibling or a partner that they're really close to. And whenever they meet you, it's like, finally, like a friend that is on the same shit as me, you know. The right people like you for you, and like only the people that are nosy or that are, you know, drama filled, those are the people that you think you're better than them, but you really are not. Like, you're actually a really humble person, but like I said, you just have certain goals and standards about yourself where you just don't see the point in wasting your time talking to people who are just not going to benefit you in any way. Okay, so let's look into these cards. You have the Devil energy. So you might also have Capricorn in your chart. Once I seen this card, I'm like, okay, I could see some Capricorn energy here. You have the Devil, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and then you have the Nine of Pentacles. So again, you're someone who really kind of moves by yourself. Like I said, I think you might have one person that you're very, very close to. But other than that, when you're out in the world, you really be kind of independent and kind of by yourself. You don't really need to have a lot of friends. Like I said, if this person is not available, you're not gonna just go hang out with anybody just because they're not available. And I also feel like you spend a lot of time by yourself too. Like, even though you do have someone that you're really close to, whether, like I said, to be a sibling, a best friend, or romantic partner, you still spend a lot of time by yourself. It's definitely not a codependent relationship. It's very much a relationship like you both are independent and you just come together and kind of form a unit. But again, you both have your own lives and like your own different goals and like things like that. So I feel like there's definitely a healthy level of independence here that people notice about you. And people also notice that you tend to have people look at you as like an abundant person, and they feel like even if you might not have a whole lot of money, they kind of think that you do, or they think that like there's people that give you money. Like, people might think that you have a sugar daddy, or they might think that like if you're a woman, they might think your man pays all the bills, or they might think that like you're the kind of person who can ask your parents for help or money. I don't know. It's just like they feel like you have a lot of ways to attract abundance, not only just with your own skills, but also like they feel like you get a lot of help from other people. And you may or you may not, but that's just something that I'm picking up, that people like. Again, it's like this reading is centered around what's people's first impression of you. And people definitely feel like you're independent, but also that you have help. People also look at you and think that you're lucky. Because again, especially with this relationship, especially if the relationship for you is a romantic relationship, people definitely feel like you're lucky. And that's why they might want to be in your business too. Because some people are just messy and they just want to like be able to spread your business. And they want to see if, like, some people see you really happy in your relationship and they just are determined to find some type of flaw in it. And they feel like if they talk to you enough, or if they pretend to be your friend enough, that they'll find out something basically, or like, you know, you'll end up telling them, oh, really, my man did cheat one time, or, you know, we did have this argument. Like, it's like they're looking for something negative to find in your relationship because of the fact that it doesn't make sense to them, or they're kind of jealous about it. But at the same time, there's also people that are curious about your relationship because they just honestly want to know how you got there, or like how you guys met, or, you know, any tips that you might have about relationships that can help them. So some people are genuinely just curious from a positive place, and then there's other people that, like I said, are negative. But I feel like you're able to discern between who's who. Because I feel like with the Moon card and the Knight of Swords, you're pretty intuitive and you have a good level of discernment. So I feel like you tell people, you pick and choose who to tell your business to, and even the people that you choose to tell some business to, you still don't give out a lot, but you give out enough to just, like I said, to give them a little bit of advice or to help them in their own relationship. Okay. Also, like I said, with this Wheel of Fortune, people definitely look at you like you're lucky. I don't know if these are all the planets, but I feel like Jupiter energy. So you might also have some Sagittarius in your chart, because I feel like people just look at you as someone that's lucky and like as someone that just has control over their life. With this Devil card, I'm feeling like people see you as the devil, and not in a negative way, but just the fact that like the devil is the one in control here. I feel like that's how people look at you. And I also feel like some people might look at you and get this first impression that you're like a controlling person, or that like you're kind of a bossy person. But I don't see that like you go out of your way to do this. It's really just that, like, because the Devil card is about people being tied or people being chained that really could escape whenever they wanted to. And so I feel like that's kind of the energy with you, where it's like you're really just a natural leader and people just respect you. You kind of are the person who commands respect. And there are some people who look at that and think like, oh, this person is controlling, or they think they rule like the same way how people might tell you like, oh, they think they're better than me, or you think you better. There's also people who might, give you the kind of energy where, oh, you think you run me, or you think you run everything, or you think you're this and that, or you think you're the boss or whatever. And it's like, it's not that you think you're the boss, but some people just naturally listen to you. Like they naturally look up to you for advice, and they naturally look up to you for direction. So you might be the kind of person where when you come into a new job, you quickly work your way up to supervisor or lead or manager or whatever. And it's people there that have been it's people at the job that have been there longer than you that feel like, oh, who does this person think there is? Like, I've been working here 5 years and I'm still not a manager, and this person only been working here for a year, and how come they manager? And it's because you're just a natural leader and they're not. And because of that, they look at you from a negative light, as if you somehow are lucky, or like you did something behind the scenes or something to get your position. But really the reality is just that you just have the kind of energy where you just command respect, and people respect you. People want to be guided by you, and it's not something that you're forcing on anyone. Okay, so let's look into your oracle cards. First, you have forgiveness, reducing burden. Interesting. I feel like, even though, like, I feel like you guys are giving me a mix of different energies. You might have like dominant like Capricorn and Cancer. For some reason in this reading, I've been picking up on North nodes, and I feel like you guys might have like a Cancer, Capricorn, North and South node. I feel like for this group, it could be either way. We're like Cancer, like a Cancer North node, Capricorn South node, or vice versa, where there's a Capricorn North node and a Cancer South node. I don't know why I'm picking up on North nodes today, but I am. So I feel like you guys have like a blend of like Capricorn and Cancer energy, because it's like this double energy where like people do see you as someone that's kind of serious and that doesn't really play, and that don't really like to be like get too close to people or be too open to people, but at the same time they do see like a soft side to you. I feel like this side of you is just a side of you that people know exists, but they don't necessarily always get to experience it. And I also feel like when it comes to your leadership, you're someone, it's like they see it in small ways. Like you're someone who, you don't beat people up for mistakes, is what I'm getting. Like, for example, especially if this is like people that are your coworkers that are getting these first impressions of you. It's like, if you're a manager, like you're the manager who, you definitely have rules, and you definitely expect people to do their fucking job and to be efficient at work. But if someone genuinely makes a mistake, and like that they didn't do it on purpose, or that they still have a good work ethic, you won't make them feel bad about it. You're quick to forgive them, and you're quick to just give them advice and just move on and let it go. And you don't bring it up or like really get into them about it. Like, and also this might be for those of you that have children. This might also be how your children see you as well, where it's like your children see you as someone like, definitely that they can't play with, definitely someone who's strict and who has rules, but at the same time, like, they know that it's from love, and like you do love them, and you're not, even though you're kind of strict, you don't make them feel, they're not afraid of you. Like, I feel like people they know not to play with you necessarily, but they're also not afraid. Like, I feel like people might be more intimidated by you just in their own head than like you actually are. So for example, if your children make a mistake, or like if the people that you work with at work make a mistake, or just people in your life in general, even if you're not a parent or like a manager, even if this is just like your friends or people that are around you, they have the energy where it's like they don't want to disappoint you more than you are upset with them. Like, they're thinking to themselves like, oh my gosh, I made this mistake, like fuck, I have to tell mom, or fuck, I gotta go tell my manager. And like, they're kind of stressing about it, but when they actually tell you about it, you're just like, it's okay, you know, next time just do this, or next time tell me in advance, or next time go about it like this. And they're kind of like, whew, like, oh my gosh, I thought you were gonna be so mad, and I thought you were gonna, and you're like, no, like, it's not that deep, you know. But at the same time, again, it's like you still are really respected, and you still are someone who values order and structure, and you know, people see that balance within you, I feel like. So here we have giraffe spirit, see the big picture. With this in reverse, I feel like people see you as someone who's very again, it's like this balance. Like, I really am feeling like north and south node energy today. I really am. Also with this card, I'm also getting that you may like look into your natal chart, because this is pretty specific, so it might not apply to everyone watching. The reading itself could still resonate even if the north nodes that I'm calling out don't resonate. But I feel like you guys might either have like a Cancer Capricorn mix of north and south node, and you also, with this card, I'm getting Virgo and Pisces. So we do have Pisces energy here, but like, I don't feel like it's just Pisces energy, like as if you're a Pisces sun sign. I feel like there's like a conjunction here with like Virgo and Pisces. So that's why I say look into your north node, because some of you might also have like a Virgo north node and a Pisces south node, or vice versa, where you have a Pisces north node and a Virgo south node. But I feel like you all tend to be very detail oriented, and that's what makes you so efficient. But at the same time, when it comes to seeing the bigger picture, you know that like details are important, but the bigger picture is also important. And like, that's why you don't make people feel bad for mistakes. Like, overall, you do want them to perform well, you do want people to do what they're supposed to do, but you're not going to get caught, you're not going to hang up on one small mistake, because you can see the bigger picture and know that overall this person is still a good worker, or overall my kid didn't mean to do that, or like they didn't have negative intentions when they did that, or you know, whatever, like that kind of energy. All right, let's go ahead and pull your last oracle card. People definitely see you as someone who's kind but stern at the same time, is what I'm getting. And you're like private, but you'll give a little bit of your business if it's from a place where you're trying to give advice. You don't just gossip and just tell your business just to tell it. But if someone is coming to you for guidance or for advice, that's when you will open up a bit more. Okay, you definitely are giving me teacher energy. Like I said, this is definitely giving like Virgo and Cancer. Really Virgo, Cancer, Capricorn, Pisces. Like, those are the energies I'm feeling as well here. But you know, it's not really about the signs, it's just the energies that I'm picking up on. So let's see, Spirit, what first impression does group 2 leave on people? What first impression does group 2 make on people or leave on people? All right, so this is your card. We have the Harpy Eagle. So again, I feel like people see you as someone that's like, it's like you're gentle but stern at the same time. And it's like you're majestic but like soft at the same time, because I feel like this eagle is a perfect representation of a bird, where it's like the American eagle, like the brown eagle, is usually seen as like a very strong archetype. And I feel like this one is seen more like, it's still a strong bird, but it has more emotional depth to it. It has more of like a intelligent depth to it, versus just being like someone who's very strong and leader. And it's like you still possess that energy, but there's also a softness to you. Like I said, it's like is really giving Cancer, Capricorn, and like Virgo, Pisces. It's like a balance of like that earth and water energy is what I feel like people pick up on and people notice with you when they first meet you. Okay, especially as they continue to get to know you. I feel like you're someone who, you know, you have a balance. You know, you have a good balance of like logical and then like emotional. You give me someone who's also very balanced, pretty balanced as well within like your masculine and your feminine energy. Because again, like I said, especially for those of you that are parents, it's like your kids definitely respect you when they know that you don't play when it comes to like their discipline and what they're expected to do in life. But at the same time, they don't feel afraid of you. Like they still they still know that you love them, and like you make space for them to be able to come to you and talk about their feelings and or tell you their mistakes, and know that you're not gonna harshly judge them about it. Okay, And that's just people in general, even if you don't have kids or even if it's not about your, you know, your work experience. All right. So thank you so much for watching group 2. I'm just getting so tongue tied, y'all. I don't know what's going on, but thank y'all for watching. Please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel so that you can join the community and not miss out on any more readings that I have in the future. I do upload every day at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so if this reading resonated, please leave me a comment down below and let me know if any of you do have these North Node placements that I mentioned, because I'm very, very curious about that, because like I said, I've been picking up on North Nodes in this reading. But other than that, I will see y'all at my next reading, and I love y'all. Bye. Hello, group 3. Thank y'all so much for joining me. So if you chose the larger protection stone, then this is your reading, and we're going to be looking into what first impression do you make on people. So if you're returning subscriber, then hello, welcome back. And if you're new here, I always pre-shuffle the cards before I get on camera, but I don't actually look at them. All right, so we always have 2 oracle cards, and then we have 3 tarot cards, and then 3 more clarifying tarot cards. Okay, and then at the end, I'm going to pull 1 oracle card on camera together. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. What first impression do you make on people? Okay. So first we have the Father of Baskets. This is the King of Cups. Then we have Aunt Caroline, which I believe is the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have Mother of Nine. So this is the Queen of Swords. So you give me someone who, again, everyone has been giving me like a double different energies, like conjuncting energies, but in the same group, in one. And definitely with this here, I feel like you're someone who is very, like, people, when they first meet you, they definitely think that you're very happy, and they feel like you're someone who has a lot of faith. I feel like they look at you as someone who is very emotionally intelligent, but also like nonchalant at the same time. I've been picking up on North Nodes all day in this reading for some reason, and I'm picking up on like Libra Aries. So you might have a Libra North Node and an Aries South Node, or vice versa, where there's like an Aries North Node and then a Libra South Node. Or you might have both of these energies, like both of them together in your big 3. But that's what I'm picking up on. It's like you have this energy of like, and it's also too, like, sometimes you're very social and like you really enjoy being around people, and you might have a lot of friends, but at the same time, you also enjoy your alone time, and you have to specifically dedicate time to yourself. And there you will tell people no that you're not going out with them, or that you don't want to hang out today, or like you won't, you know, text back immediately, and you kind of do like to be by yourself. It's like this, like I said, all the readings today have been like these two energies in one. Okay. I also feel like with you all, people see you as very mature. Like all of these, we have the Queen, the King, and then the Wheel of Fortune. But in the Wheel of Fortune, there's an older woman pictured here. And so I feel like you might be the kind of person people tell you that you're very mature for your age, or that like you're an old soul. Okay. You give me someone who, I feel like people can tell that you really value family and relationships, and you give good advice. So people might come to you for advice. Like you might be the kind of person where people that just met you, or people that are strangers, people that you don't know that well, they just feel comfortable telling you their business. And you might find yourself listening to people vent a lot without even really meaning to. Like I said, people just will literally come up to you. You did not ask, and they just started talking. They just started telling their business. And, you know, they're just like looking at you, waiting on your response, really. Like, is giving therapist friend. People kind of, without even realizing it, they kind of trust you to be their therapist friend. And sometimes you will go ahead and give that to them, and then other times you'll set boundaries like, girl, I really don't care, and I didn't ask, to be honest with you. Like, it's no shade, you know, I'm not trying to be rude, but I really don't care. Whatever is happening in your life, that's on you. Especially if the person, like, I feel like you, especially, like I said, it's like you give me very emotionally intelligent, but also like very like nonchalant. Like I will set boundaries with you, girl. Like you don't really like, I feel like for people can tell that you don't like people that are not trying, or people that are playing dumb, or people that make excuses for themselves. Like you don't really have any patience for that. Like if you can tell that somebody's trying, or that somebody is believing in themselves, or that they are trying to make better decisions, or that they are really trying to better themselves, you have no problem giving them advice. You have no problem speaking life into them and believing in them, and telling them that you're proud of them. But if you can tell that somebody is the type of person to make excuses, or they're lazy, or they ignore red flags, you really don't like have time for that shit. Like, you're the kind of person, I feel like this group, I kind of relate to this low-key, but I feel like this group, you might not like Pisces, or like you might not really get along well with like Pisces. And I say that specifically because I feel it, first of all, but I also say that because, again, like Pisces are the type of people, Pisces tend to have this thing where they like ignore red flags, and they like give too many chances. Especially because of the fact that I pick up on a lot of Libra and Aries energy here, I feel like you do not like that shit. Like, you do not like people that make excuses for themselves. And if you pick up on that kind of energy from somebody, you will quickly distance yourself, or you will quickly like set boundaries. Like, you know, it ain't nothing personal, but like, we're not friends. Like, you might like me and that's cool, but you're not the kind of person that I really want to spend my time with, or that I want to give advice to. Like, I already gave you advice once and you didn't take it. So like, I'm not gonna keep sitting here listening to you talk about the same thing over and over. Like, girl, please get out my face. Like, that's the kind of energy that I feel like people pick up on you when they first meet you. I also feel like people feel like you're someone who can be hot and cold, like you have your moods. And to you, it's not necessarily that you just have your moods, but it's just like you look at yourself as a multifaceted person, and you don't shy away from all the different aspects of you. So, you know, again, it's like, on one hand, you might be very social, but on the other hand, you might also want your alone time and want people to leave you the hell alone. And you don't feel like there's anything wrong. Like, to you, that's not fake. To you, that's not moody. I feel like people might call you fake as well. Like, people, sorry, readjusting. But I feel like there also might be some people that look at you as fake because you're not always one way all the time. And that might be confusing to them. I also feel like you're someone who, with this Aunt Caroline and the fact that she's in the middle here, it kind of also gives me, this is especially, like I said, that Libra energy. Also getting a little bit of Gemini energy. But whenever I call out different signs, it's not to say that you have to have that sign, but it's just saying like the different energies that I'm picking up on. Because if you're someone who does know about astrology, then you know what I mean when I bring up certain signs and what energy that sign represents, okay? So don't get too caught up on like, oh, I'm not any of those signs, it might not resonate. If the message itself resonates, then it doesn't matter if the signs I'm talking about apply to you, okay? But I'm also getting this energy where like people might think that you're fake because you tend to be in the middle of situations and you're able to see both sides and you don't choose sides. And so because of that, people might think that you're fake because, you know, for example, if you're at work or if you're at school and there's two people that have a problem with each other, but you are cool with both of them, because I do feel like I said, I do see you as someone who's social. So you do tend to get along with everyone, and you do tend to have some type of relationship with the people around you. It might not be deep to you because, like I said, I feel like you value your alone time, so you don't always see these people outside of wherever you see them at. Like if it's work, you don't really hang out with them outside of work, or same thing with school, but you're cool with everyone, right? So if there's a situation where two people that you're cool with are not liking each other anymore, you don't choose sides and you kind of stay out of it and just let both of them vent to you. And so that might be perceived as fake because you'll let what person A vent to you about how they don't really care for person B, and you just kind of like don't really say anything. Or you might tell them like logical advice, like, okay, girl, that was wrong, or well, XYZ. But then at the same time, you'll let person B vent to you about person A, and you'll give them the same thing. You'll tell them advice, or you'll let them have their feelings or whatever. And to you, it's just like, this don't have nothing to do with me. First of all, like, I don't really care because it's not my beef. And then at the same time, like I said, you're able to see both perspectives. So you're able to tell person A how they was wrong and tell person B how they was wrong. But you know that they're both grown, so you're not really interested in trying to make them make up. You just are like, well, if y'all don't like each other, that's fine, but I'm gonna still talk to both of y'all because, again, this shit don't have nothing to do with me. And other people sometimes might perceive that as you being fake or whatever. So you might have heard that about yourself growing up, or still maybe currently, depending on whoever you're around. But like I said, I don't think that you do it with any negative intent. I think you just don't care, and you just don't care to be the middleman, and you don't care to choose sides because you feel like that shit don't have nothing to do with you, honestly. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your clarifying cards. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. I feel like you help people. People can perceive that, like, I feel like people perceiving you that, I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but it's kind of like you help people to come out of their limitations. People see you as someone who doesn't really allow yourself to be limited, and people also see you as someone that might have overcome anxiety or overcome some type of struggles mentally. Yeah, like for some of you, you might have, I'm getting this, and this might be kind of a sensitive thing, but just as a warning, but I feel like some of you might have scars, like self-harm scars on your body. And there might have been a time where you did self-harm or you did deal with like depression or anxiety and stuff like that. But at this point, you've healed, you've overcome or whatever. And so I feel like for some of you, people can look at your scars and like to like, oh, this person overcame XYZ. And even if you don't have scars, or even if you never did physically self-harm, I feel like this is the way that you are, like the way that you talk and your perspective when you talk to people, you kind of have this mindset of someone that's overcome a lot, and like because of that you don't allow yourself to be limited. And that's why you don't like people that give themselves excuses, because you've been in the gutter, you've been through shit, you've been in mental spaces where you felt like you wanted to give up or you didn't want to be here anymore, and you overcame that. So when someone gives you excuses about why, oh, I'm going through this, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to da da da, you know, you might not tell them your business, but in your head, you're like, girl, I literally have almost, taken my life before. Or I literally used to self-harm, or I literally was poor as fuck, didn't have shit, and I didn't let that stop me. So you're not finna sit here. I'm not finna feel bad for you because, you feel lonely, so you keep taking back your cheating boyfriend. Like, it's like you have this no tolerance energy for like excuses, I feel like, and you don't like for people to give their fear too much power, because you know what can happen to someone if they do that, and you don't want that for anyone else. But at the same time, you don't concern yourself with trying to save people that don't want to be saved. You're very good at like giving energy to people who it will actually benefit, and who will actually take it and be able to reciprocate it in some way. I also feel like that's another thing with you, is that you're very big on reciprocation, and people can pick up on that with you. Like, people know that like you're the kind of person where if they ask you to borrow money and then you give it to them, you want to also know that you can ask them to borrow money. And if you know that they're not the kind of person to give it to you, then you won't give it to them. And you have this energy where like you treat people how you want to be treated at first. Like at first, when you first meet somebody, you treat them how you want to be treated, and you're very nice, you're very polite, and XYZ. But once you start to read people, or once you start to spend enough time with them and you pick up on their energy, you match energy. And it's not that you like lower yourself. If someone is being rude, like you won't lower yourself to their level necessarily, but like you match their level of care. So if you can tell that somebody don't really care about you based off of how they move or how they talk or whatever, you like, okay, girl, well, I don't care about you. So if I can't ask you for nothing, don't ask me for nothing. Or, if you walk in and you say hey to everybody, and there's that one person that doesn't say hey back to you, you're not ever going to say hey to them again, because you're like, oh, okay, so that's what we're not talking to each other. Okay, but like you're very much, at first, like I said, I'm gonna treat you how I want to be treated, but then I'm gonna treat you how you treat me. Okay, that's very much what you're giving me. You definitely give people a taste of their own medicine. Okay, that's what they pick up on from you. Like, you're the kind of person where I feel like you really don't like conflict, and you really don't like to argue or like to do too much. But at the same time, like sometimes you do like to teach people a lesson, and if they're rude, you don't feel the need to hold back. You might hold, if anytime that you hold back on somebody, it's really not for them, it's for you. Like, because like I said, I feel like you are someone who doesn't really enjoy confrontation, and you really prefer to just mind your business and be at peace, because that's the type of energy that you like to sit in, is a peaceful energy. But sometimes, you do like to let people have it, because you just feel like, I just need you to know that that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be the kind of person where, and you might not always do it in a way where they like repeat exactly what they did. Does that make sense? So for example, let's say that somebody cusses you out. You might not necessarily cuss them back out, but you're going to do something else that's petty, or you're going to do something that affects them in a way where it's like you're kind of teaching them a lesson. So for example, this example is coming to me because I work in restaurants, and maybe some of you do too. But like, you're the kind of person where if you have a customer that's rude, you're not gonna necessarily cuss them out or be rude to them like directly, but you're gonna take forever to bring them their food. Or you're not gonna, if they ask you for a refill, you'll say okay, and then stand there and never get it for them. Or you know what I'm saying, like you'll ignore them and like make them realize like, well damn, I done pissed this person off, so now they're treating me a certain type of way. And you don't have to necessarily, like I said, you don't have to be rude to them or like directly cuss them out or anything like that, but just off of you extracting your energy, they off rip feel the consequence of their action. They're like, damn, like I probably should have. They start ended up feeling bad because they're like, damn, like. And sometimes people don't want to take accountability, but they know, even if they don't always admit it, or even if they don't always change their behavior immediately, like they know in the back of their head, like, damn, I shouldn't have been rude to them because that's why they treated me like this. Or damn, like, I probably shouldn't have did that. But sometimes they just be too prideful to admit it to you. But you know that they know, okay? Or same thing, like I feel like you're some type of, like, people know that you extract your present. Like you're the kind of person who will extract your presence, okay? Because like I said, I feel like somebody has to really, really, really piss you off for you to come out of character, for you to cuss them out, or for you to be blatantly rude. Because I feel like you value manners and respect and politeness, but you will be very quick to ignore the fuck out of somebody or to take away your presence. Like you set boundaries in like a feminine way. And when I say feminine, I don't know why I feel like I have to make this disclaimer, but feminine energy is not weak. Like just because feminine energy is not direct as masculine energy does not mean it's weak. And one of the feminine strengths is to leave. And that's what I said you do. Is like, you might not outwardly argue with somebody, but you will definitely walk the fuck away. And whatever, usually it's people that need you in some type of way, and they're gonna feel your presence not being there. So for example, if you're in a relationship and somebody cheats on you, or somebody starts acting like they done lost their goddamn mind, you're not gonna argue with them. You're gonna break the fuck up with them and block them, and immediately they're gonna feel bad for whatever they did just off of you removing your presence, because you're a special person and they know that. And even if they don't say it to you, they're gonna always regret treating you the way that they did. And I feel like a lot of times people regret treating you bad more because you don't get out of character, and it makes them look fucking stupid for even trying you, or for even being rude to you, because you don't carry yourself that way. Or like I said, for some of you, if you work customer service and you have a rude customer, you're not gonna be rude to them, but you will just ignore them, and they'll realize that, oh, she's the only cashier, or well, if that's my waitress and she's ignoring me, then how the hell am I gonna get my food now? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you are. And I definitely fuck with that for you. I fuck with that for you because I'm a Libra, so I relate, but I definitely fuck with that for you. So let's go ahead and look into your oracle cards here. We have Barnbrack, sweetness and synergy. So like I said, you're a mixture of different energies, because this card literally talks about bringing different elements together to create this cake here. And that's literally you. It's like, you're a very complex person. Like I'm thinking about an onion. Like you're the kind of person who has a lot of layers to you. And you know, you don't necessarily feel the need to unravel all those layers to different people, but you'll bring them out when they're necessary. And you bring out different parts of yourself depending on, you're the kind of person who, and this is why I say people might look at you as fake sometimes, because you adapt your energy, and you adapt not your personal core energy, but you adapt the energy that you show depending on who you're talking to. Because like, for example, some people, I also feel like you play dumb, because you know that some people are just not even on an intellectual level to be able to understand you in the first place. So you're not even going to waste your time really saying your true thoughts, because like I said, you just know that they're not on that level, so you play dumb. Or there might be some people where you come off as really, they think you're shy. Really, you're not shy. You just don't want to fucking talk to them because you think they're stupid, or because you think that they're immature, or because you think that they focus on the wrong things, or you think that they're very superficial or whatever. So you just, you don't talk to them. And to them, they might think, oh, you're so shy, you don't talk. And you're like, girl, I'm not shy. I just don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of energy that you give. And then again, people that like you and people that you like, they think you're so really fun and bubbly and extroverted, because with them, you're like, okay, this person is actually on my level. This person will understand me, and this person has good energy. So I'm going to show them the fun side of myself, and I'm going to show them more of myself. That's kind of how you are. Next, we have Buffalo Spirit. The abundant universe will provide. So with this card in reverse, it's again giving me that energy of like, you don't deal with excuses, and you don't like people that are are lazy. So with this card usually talks about the abundant, it says the abundant universe will provide, and it talks about having faith that like everything will work out for you, and that like the universe will take care of you. And as long as you believe and you take the right steps, things will work out and your path will unfold. And with it being in reverse, oops, sorry, I always hit the tripod at least one time in my readings. But with you all, I feel like with this card being in reverse, it's like you don't like people. I also feel like you don't like people that are overly religious, or people that like pray too much, or they like put all of their energy just into a spiritual belief. Because again, you have a balanced energy where you're like, yeah, spirituality is great, faith is great, but you still gonna have to put in work at some point. And you don't like people that just are always like praying, but they never do anything. Like that's something that I feel like irritates you, and you don't like people like that. And again, you don't like lazy people. And at the same time, you just give me again this balanced energy. Like I really feel like I'm really heavily getting Libra Aries energy here. Especially like I said, definitely check into your natal chart. And if you do have a Libra and Aries North or South node, please leave me down below a comment letting me know that, because I just know I'm not crazy. And even if it's just one person, I know for a fact that somebody that's watching this group has this energy here. Like you have to, because I just keep feeling it. But yeah, so it's like on one hand, you don't like people that are just all belief and no action, but at the same time, you don't like people that are very that don't have belief. Like you like people that are balanced. You like people that have faith and that take action. You don't like people that, you know, they'll take action or they'll do something, but they don't actually believe in themselves, or they don't actually have faith that it'll work out. You don't like people like that. And at the same time, you don't like people that will pray all day, but that are lazy. Like you like people that are balanced, okay? That's something that I'm picking up, and I feel like people can tell that about you because of the way that you speak, or because of the way that you respond to certain people, okay? So let's go ahead and see your last oracle card. Spirit, what first impression does group 3 make on people? What first impression do people get from group 3, or what first impression do they make on people? Okay, I feel like this is your card. Wow, we got this card in the last reading too, where it was like I said, it's just like this balanced energy. Like it's like you're intelligent, but you're also emotional, and there's also a lot of depth to you. Because I was just comparing this card in the last reading to what is it? What was I just saying? Oh, like the bald eagle, right? The bald eagle usually has like a archetype of being very strong, being like a leader, being very direct. And I feel like the harpy eagle is more of, it just has more depth to it. It has more emotional depth, more intelligent depth. It's more of like a mind and spirit type of energy that I'm getting with the harpy eagle. And I feel like that's what you all, that's the kind of energy that you all project and that people pick up from you. It's like they see you as someone who has layers, someone who has depth, and someone that is a very level-headed person as well. Level-headed and emotionally balanced, okay? So I do want to pick one more card for you because I feel drawn to. And then we have the Knight. So let me see what I'm feeling with this card. With this card, I see you, I think that people get the first impression of you that, again, excuse me, that you're very balanced. And there's definitely more than one side to you. And I also feel like with this Knight card, it's like people also know that, like, again, it's like you don't just show yourself to everyone. Like with the Knight card, it's giving me this energy of like, I feel like this being is kind of, I'm getting the visual, like this being only shows itself to people that are on a certain frequency. You know how it's like, if you ever watch like a paranormal movie or like a movie with like some type of supernatural being, and it's like, you know, regular mortals can't see them, but people that have the gift or people that are more intelligent or more spiritually in tune or whatever, can see them, and the spirit or the being will only interact with humans that have these certain gifts and abilities. I feel like that's you, and I feel like that's how people see you, where it's like you really only show your true self, or even entertain people that are on a certain frequency or that have similar beliefs as you, or that you can tell have a certain level of potential within themselves, or that have a certain level of intelligence and emotional intelligence and wisdom, okay, and a balance to themselves. Like you really only like people that you feel like are a reflection of you in some way. And that's not to say that the person has to be just like you, but you see a lot of yourself in them, and you see a lot of your good qualities in them, and those are the kind of people that you feel drawn to, and those are the people that you really show yourself to. And I think that people can pick up on that when they first meet you. Okay, so that's what I have for you, group 3. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any readings in the future. I always post my readings at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, and again, leave me a comment down below, letting me know how this resonated with you, and especially leave me a comment down below letting me know how this resonates with you if you have Libra and Aries in your chart, specifically if you have a Libra, Aries, South and North node. Okay, because I would love to know. All right, so with that being said, I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.